Hello and welcome back. So in today's video I'm going to do a few tutorials on IBKR Desktop just to continue the series. So I'm going to show you how to add indicators. Many of you have been wondering how to add indicators on IBKR Desktop, how to place also a stop loss and take profit on IBKR Desktop, how to use not how to use but how to read your IBKR account statements. Now this applies to both the desktop and TWS because this is going to be on the web page, and also how to use IBKR option chain in general. So on my IBKR desktop, what I like to do is to first minimize. Okay, I just like minimizing the tickers and also minimizing the rapid order, okay, or the price order. So now I have a much bigger field to play around with. Okay, I have a bigger view. So we're going to start with indicators. The way you can place indicators is just simply over here. Okay, you have your indicators over here. Now there are a few indicators that you may want to use in options, okay, particularly stock options or trading stock options. Now the most common one, or the one that I also personally like using, is the VWAP. Okay, maybe some of you have heard the VWAP or have heard of the VWAP. Okay, so it's a type of indicator that basically allows you, especially in the smaller time frames, 15, 5, to actually trade efficiently. Okay, so now when the VWAP, which is this blue one here, when the price is below, it is actually very simple. It's kind of works like the EMAs. Okay, basically when the price breaks below it and retests it, it's likely to continue down. As you can see, what happened here. Okay, this is the 15-minute chart. It broke this VWAP. Okay, so you're always going to wait for the retest. Once it breaks and retests, you can now get into the trade and ride the market all the way down. Okay, so it usually means when the VWAP has been broken, the market is likely to continue down. Okay, as you can see over here, the market broke over here, it continued down, it broke over here, it continued. So you always want to wait for the VWAP to be broken and retested so you can ride it the way down. Same thing for the opposite side, or for the bullish move. You want to wait for the market to break it. As you can see over here, the VWAP was broken here. Again, if we go to the smaller time frame, let's go to the 5-minute time frame so you can see those clear moves. Okay, so as you can see over here, it wasn't really clear because there was a lot going on here, but you always want to wait for a retest. As you can see, the market was broken over here, there was a retest over here, there's also a retest over here. So either way, you'd have gotten here or over here, gotten into the trade and ride it all the way up. Okay, let's look for another one here, another move to the upside. Okay, over here, as you can see, now this one wasn't also not clear. Sometimes it won't be so clear, it won't be perfectly clear. So that is why you always have to track your trades, like tracking your stop losses so that the market doesn't take you out. So as you can see, there was a break over here. So it actually stayed here for a long time. It also retested it. Sometimes it's going to do a multiple retest. This is another retest over here, and it continued upwards. All right, so it only means that when the VWAP is broken and retested on either side, you should go towards that side. Okay, so for example, if the market breaks above and retests, is going to go up. If it breaks below and retests, is going to go down. So that is what the VWAP is normally used for. Okay, another indicator, okay, let's have a look at another indicator. Another indicator is the moving average. Okay, it's kind of similar to the VWAP moving average. Okay, there are different types, but the one that I like to go for is this one here, just the original without anything else. Okay, now we have two of them here. We have the VWAP and the moving average. Now I want to hide the VWAP. Okay, you can actually hide it or delete it by clicking on here. Here is where your indicators are going to appear. So to hide your VWAP or to delete it, you can just click on more over here. Now I choose to hide it, so I'm just going to hide it, and now we're going to be left remained with the moving average. Okay, now you can actually change the color. Okay, they tend to have the same colors here on IBKR, so I like changing the color. So to change the color, you can just double click on the line itself, which is going to show you the settings. Now you have the style. Style is going to allow you to change the color. Okay, so I can have it any color I want over here. I'm going to choose yellow. Okay, and now we can see our moving average is yellow. You can change the input as well, and the default length is 9. Okay, most people or other people like to have it as 12 Okay, you can have it at 12. There's even up to 200. Okay, so it just depends on what length you want it to be. Okay, the length is basically just adjusting the distance between the candlesticks and the moving average itself. So that is how you can customize your moving average, but you just want to leave it as the default, unless now if you're a professional trader, you can actually go ahead and change your inputs. Okay, it just goes with experience, but the default is always a 9 for the original moving average. Okay, so I'll just leave it at 9. Now these are the most common moving averages used on stock options, but then again you can look for other indicators over here. There are so many of them. Okay, there are tons and tons of different indicators that you can use. They also have the MACD. MACD is commonly used a lot in forex, so if you're a forex trader you might be familiar with MACD. Personally, I've never used it, so I'm not really sure of what I'm looking at over here. But another indicator that I used to use a lot on forex, which can also apply here, is the volume. Okay, you can search for the volume indicator. Okay, there's a volume oscillator, net volume. If you go with the volume, okay, this is the original one. This is basically just going to show you the volume, where the volume is. I normally use this volume, okay, rather it's best to use when the market during the market open. Okay, that is when you can see how much volume is there, so that you can get into the market. You normally want to get into the market when there is good volume, especially when trading stock options. Okay, so as you can see here, we are in Thursday. This was 10:55. Okay, so there's normally volume in the morning. That's 10:55 a.m. This is New York time. Okay, same thing with here, 22:55. Okay, usually in the morning hours, again you can see here 22:55. So that is normally when there is volume. Morning hours, usually the first few hours in the morning. So this is an indicator that you can use. Another indicator, let me remove this. Let me just remove the moving average and the volume. Okay, another indicator, and this is going to be the last one, is the RSI. Okay, go over here and then just search for RSI. So it's called a relative strength index. Okay, it's also common in forex, and it's pretty much just showing you the oversold level and the overbought level. Okay, so the way that you can use it is, if this level has been crossed, it has the mid level here, the market has actually crossed the overbought level, so it's likely to continue down. Okay, if the level has been crossed downwards, as you can see over here, it was crossed downwards over here actually, so it crossed it downwards, and the level below here basically means an oversold level. Okay, so the way that you can trade this is, when the level is like now, this level here at 30. Okay, if you see over here, it's written, it's at 30, and then here is at 70. Okay, so if it's below 30, that is a level that has been bought, has been oversold, so it's likely to continue back up. So you can get into the trade, you can get into a put and ride the market back up. Okay, if it's crossed the 70 level over here, which actually didn't cross for a while, if you go back in history. Okay, so over here, as you can see, so once it's crossed this level, you want to get into a call, you want to buy a call, so that you can ride the market all the way down. So the best way to use the RSI is if this level has been crossed. Okay, if the 70 level has been crossed or the 30 level has been crossed. All right, so that is the best way that you can use the RSI. That is how I used to use it. I don't really use the RSI anymore. I was using it a lot actually in forex, but not much in stocks. But you can still use it in stock options, because as you can see, especially in the smaller time level, the smaller time frames, it works really well. So those are just the indicators that you can use, and that's how you can find your indicators just over here. Now I'm going to show you next how to place a stop loss. So I'm going to open this rapid order area over here. So let's say we want to buy Nvidia. Okay, we want to buy a call on Nvidia. Now I usually look for the levels. Okay, these are small. I usually look for higher time frames first, go over to 4 hour, because you just don't want to buy a put or a call without actually looking at the chart. So you want to be sure where you're buying. So here we have a bearish candlestick, a very long bearish candlestick, indicating that this market is on a very strong bearish move. Okay, So we want to buy a call option over here, not a call but a put option over here. So what I would do, I would go over to options. Okay, you always want to buy and ask from the options chain. Okay, that's the best way. You don't want to buy it from the charts, you want to buy it from the options chain. Okay, so remember we are buying puts. Okay, we're looking for a bearish move. Remember, puts is a bearish move, so we want to buy a call out of the put option. So I want to buy it at the money. Okay, so at the money, remember the at the money is over here, in the money is this, the rest of this other area over here. So I want to buy at the money. Okay, so I'm going to buy it at $223. Okay, that is what it's going to cost me, and I want to buy it at a market order. This is going to place me in the market immediately, and I can either leave it in day, in the time in force. Now day is when you want to get in and out of the trade within that same day. Okay, actually less than 5 hours, that's the recommended, because something known as theta is actually going to eat into your profits. So you want to get in and out of that trade within 5 hours. So I'm just going to leave it a day, and then I'm going to add my attach order. So this is going to allow me to take my profit. Okay, if I add this, or if I check this, it's going to allow me to take my profit. Now the market is currently at $221 or $2.21, but remember, one contract is 100 shares, so we're basically multiplying this by 100. Okay, so it's going to be 221. So when the market hits 321, it should take us out of the market. Okay, so that is how you can adjust it. You can actually adjust it from here. You can type it, or you can just scroll through whatever profit you want over here. Okay, so I'll just leave it at 321, and then my stop loss is where the market is going to take me out. Okay, so again, it's at 221. If the market goes below 221 all the way to 121, it should take us out of the market. Okay, again, you can adjust it from here. So that is how you can easily place your stop loss and your profit and your take profit. Okay, you can also leave your time in force. Now your time in force is going to be based on what you placed over here at your market. Okay, so if this was a GTC, they're all going to change to GTC. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that, and it's also going to show you your profit, your total your total loss over here. So you're going to lose $102. Okay, here you're going to make $97.93. Okay, so this is what you'll make, and this is what you'll lose. All right, so you can now submit your order by just simply clicking on this, which is then going to pop this. Now this is the management algo. Okay, I don't really use the management algo. It just basically tells you, actually it kind of like guides you. Okay, it's recommended for beginners. It basically just helps you manage your price. Okay, so you can either choose to always use or not use, but just for tutorial purposes, I'm just going to use this order. And then now you're going to get this, or rather I'm getting this notification because I'm placing this trade outside trading hours. Okay, because right now I am 4 hours behind trading hours, so it's going to be executed in 4 hours. Okay, in about 4 hours 30 minutes. So I'm just going to click on OK. All right, click on OK. So this order is currently on hold. Okay, it's going to be filled once the market opens. All right, so that is how you can, buy a call or a put and set your profit and your stop loss. So now I want to show you how you can read your IBKR account statement. Okay, it's very simple. This is a shortcut that you can click. You can just click on your icon over here and click on deposit withdraw funds, which is going to take you to the web page, your IBKR account web page. Just enter your username or account. Make sure you're in the live, because it gives you an option to choose whether you want live or paper. So just select your live, because of course your paper doesn't have your account statement, so of course you want to go with live. But for this tutorial purposes, I don't want to reveal my account statement, so I'll just go over to paper and click on simulated login. And the good thing about IBKR is that you can just search from using the search button over here. So you can search for account statements, you can click on activity statement, or you can show deposit and withdrawal data, you can show correlations. All this is over here. Okay, I'm just going to go with activity statements. which is then going to take me over here to my statements. And now again, I can view my activity statements over here, my MTM, my realized summary, and all that. Okay, so this is pretty much how you can find your statements. You can click on run. You can see what date, you can choose what date you want to view your statement, whether you want the daily, custom date range, month to date. You can set all that. It's going to reveal your statement, and you can even download your PDF statement over here, whether you want a CSV or a HTML. Okay, or if you just want to click on view, this should take you to your statement. Now again, remember this is a paper account, but if you're in your live account, it's basically going to show you your statement summary over here. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comment section. Now, if you want to watch how you can trade futures here on IBKR using the options chain, do check out this video over here. And if you found this one valuable, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one.